Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for our presentation on Satech Modular Guarding Systems. Before we get into today's presentation, just a couple of housekeeping items. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, this GoToWebinar format does have a box on the side of the screen where you'll be able to find some certain things. We do have some handouts in the handout section for you to download and take a look at either during the presentation or afterwards. We will also be taking any questions that you might have, so feel free during the presentation to type in some questions, and we have a section at the end where we'll take any of the questions. And if we don't have time, we will respond to any questions offline. We will, of course, be recording this session, and we will make a copy of it available once the session is over. So without further ado, I have to introduce you to not one, but two presenters today. Our first presenter is Josh Fincher. He is our Satech manager and does most of the designs of all the safety guards for all your quoting needs. And I have on the line Dennis Bailey, our national sales manager. So Dennis, take it away.
Thank you very much, David. Welcome everyone. I appreciate people taking time out of your busy schedules to listen to a presentation on Satech perimeter guarding modular systems. We are the Satech exclusive partner for North America here in the United States and in Canada. I'll tell you a little bit about where we're located and what our warehouse looks like in the next couple of slides, and I'll pass it over to Josh. So Josh, if you want to move the slide, please.
Yes, sir.
Schmersal /Satech is our warehousing is located in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're at 8445 Challenger Drive, which is a short 5-minute commute from the Indianapolis airport. This is our stocking warehouse for not only Schmersal, but the Satech fencing. We have over 21,000 square feet, and coming next month, we're building another 24,000 square foot addition on the back of our warehouse, which is primarily going to be used for the stocking of the steel fencing perimeter guarding from Satech. Next. We took a couple of pictures of our warehouse. Obviously, when we get in the Satech fencing, the panels, as you see on the left, are stacked high, standing up, roughly 45 panels on a skid. And then the posts and hardware come on those A-frames that you see in the pictures to the right. Next.
Yep.
When we ship the product out to you, the customer or our distributors, we have a 4-sided frame that we stack the panels, the posts, and all the hardware, doors, kits, anything that's included in the bill of material. Like you see in the two pictures in the frame here. We used to ship it in the A-frames, but we found with the transportation companies that our customers use, that if they're not packed in there tightly, then we're going to have problems with them tipping over and having damaged goods. With the 4-sided, we can obviously pack the panels, the posts, and the kits very firm in there. There's no, we have had no issues with any delivery issues. So
Yeah.
this is
Hey,
how
Dennis, just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify
Sure.
too. Like these pictures show, there's the one side is open, but these were in progress. So there would be that 4th side attached on these 2 pallets. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we found shipping this product to be more effective and not to have any issues in that. So.
Yeah, and then again, these aren't done, but they're shrink wrapped with shrink wrap as well to contain any loose. Well, there's nothing loose in there anyways, but they're shrink wrapped as well and labeled and that kind of stuff. So.
Yes, and all the instructions and everything as Josh goes through his presentation will be attached, obviously, to each skid so that you know about installation, you know about what's in the skids and that sort of thing. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Next, I think it's over to Josh Fincher.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks again for coming, for showing up today. So I do all the design, the quoting, manage the inventory out of Indy there. Just kind of wanted to give you an idea of when I work on a project, how a drawing will look. With every quote, you'll get a full bill of material, pricing for each part. I provide a 3D PDF drawing and dimension PDF drawing with every quote, and even 3D CAD models of the I'm just using AutoCAD, but I can convert to step files, which I send out with every project as well. Okay. And so basically, when sending in applications, you can either send in hand sketched drawings, CAD files. I can work from pretty much anything as long as there's just some rough dimensions on there and notes noting where doors will need to go or any openings, that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be anything fancy when you send it in for me to work on. Okay. So Satech has a nice free software that you can download off of their website that allows you or your customers to design in their own Satech fencing applications. I still would recommend, once they were done up and you can run a bill of materials out of there, but I would still, there's some parts that may need to be added in that the software won't pick up on, but it gives them a good idea of all the parts that will go into the project. So that's available. There's also all the CAD models of our product is on Trace Parts website, so they can download the CAD models right off of there, or I can email out specific parts to anybody that needs them. Okay, I just want to show a quick video here before we get into the parts, showing how everything kind of goes together. Now this is showing our new ImpactGuard series that we've been stocking now for the last couple of years. Just did a couple different door styles here. There's lots to choose from. Okay. Dave, I might need some help getting out of this here.
Just right arrow or enter.
I'm not seeing anything here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm stuck in here, Dave. I'm hitting escape, but nothing's happening.
Hit enter.
Thank you, sir. Sorry about that, everyone. Okay, so before we get into this, I just want to say that now in Indianapolis, we're stocking just the ImpactGuard series, which I'll show you here. Two different type of posts, 40 by 40 and 60 by 60 are the two post sizes, okay? Now the 40 by 40 has a bolt-on base plate that you can see here on the left. It's slotted, it's got adjustability. Now the 60 by 60 only comes in that welded base foot there, okay? And then there's the jack bolt that you can use to level the post when you're installing, okay? So there is adjustability there. And we've gotten away from using our fast clips, if you're familiar with our old basic series and strong series that we used to supply, but we've gotten away from that. These posts have three sides, have three tapped holes on three of the sides of the post, okay, that we use to bolt the mesh panels or whatever type of panel onto the post. Now, with the impact test, this has been rated for 2,600 joules. They take a 220-pound weight and they smash it into the fence, and that's where they get that rating from. Very strong connection with the bolts. Okay. Now with these post kits, the part numbers now are all separated out, but when I'm quoting a job, I'll quote all the necessary parts for that post, but you'll get the end cap for the top, you'll get the concrete anchors and all the bolts to mount the mesh panels or the panel, whatever panel type you're using to that post. All of that will be accounted for in the bill of material. Okay, so the panels are now bolted to the post with captive fasteners, okay? Once the bolt is tightened through into the frame of the mesh panel into the post, that bolt will be clipped or stuck inside that mesh panel. So when you loosen it off to take a mesh panel off, that bolt will stay in the mesh panel, okay? Let's see. So I find with bolting these mesh panels on, there's only 2 bolts per each side of the mesh panel, so it goes together pretty quick and easy. We used to have the fast clips that you'd have to slide down over the top, and it was with the height of the fencing, it was a little tough to get those lined up and fastened in. So I really like the bolting method right now, and it's way stronger of a connection as well. Okay, so in Indy, all we stock are the mesh panels, okay? Everything is available out of Italy, the factory in Italy, but longer lead times. There's a few different ways that we can bring material in. I could piggyback onto some of my stock containers that are coming in on a regular basis, or we can do a direct shipment straight from Italy, either air freight or ocean freight, okay? So the mesh panels that we stock in Indianapolis, the post height is 2240 millimeters. or 88 inches, and the mesh panels are 80 millimeters tall to accommodate that post. 7 different widths, from the 1500 is our widest all the way down to 200 millimeters. And then we can join mesh panels together to get specific dimensions that we may need. It's very, very rare that I have to cut a width of a mesh panel down to accommodate a customer's dimension drawing. I can pretty much always, by joining panels together or removing posts and here and there, and I can always get to within an inch or two of the customer's specifications. Now, like I said, out of Italy, we have all kinds of different panel options. There's sheet metal, as you can see here. There's sheet metal panels with polycarbonate windows in them, okay? Full polycarbonate panels, right? The polycarbonate sheet is riveted to the front face with of the frame tube around there. So that's riveted on there. Combination mesh panel, sheet metal combos here are available as well, okay? Okay, so now I just kind of want to get into some different door types that we stock. There's a whole bunch of different options. This one here, as you can see, is a bifold folding door, we call it. It'll come with the casters for support there, the hinges. It's compatible with the 40 or the 60 posts, okay? Now, everything you'll see in the next few slides are single, they just show single doors, but we can do an opposite or opposing style door that basically just doubles the opening. So for this style door, we can do up to 3 meters, but if we went with the opposing or the double door, you could do 6-meter openings, okay?
Hey, Josh, just one second. Sam Burke has his hand up. Sam, did you have a question?
Do I need to do something to have him hear his
No,
audio?
I just saw that he had his hand up.
Oh,
I'm not sure. 1 second here. He's got a question. Yes, he says. Can you, David, is it possible that he unmutes himself, or should I just unmute him?
Can you guys hear me?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
Not much, Josh. I'm just, we just installed some of your fencing, and I just had a question about the bolts for the panels. They come with hex heads, I believe. Do you guys have any tips on kind of managing a wrench in there? We just found it was pretty tough. You can't get really a socket head in there, like
So,
on top of that bolt.
Yep, that was a Satech oversight, and they've now changed over to a button head.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
that was a question.
Hit me up offline, and then we could get you fixed up with the button heads if you need them.
No, sounds good. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah. Hey, no problem, man. No problem. Okay, good to go. Okay, sliding doors here. This one with the upper track is probably my biggest seller that I use, other than just a single swing man door. It's inexpensive. It slides really nice. It's got that aluminum upper track. So if it's just for man access and you don't need to have that open at the top, this is kind of the go-to. Okay. This guy here, I sell quite a few of these. This one's for really large openings, typically I'll use this for say 3 meters to up to 6-meter openings. And then again, if you do the double, you could do up to 12-meter full openings with these if you've got one on each side, then the door sliding into each other. Okay. Pretty common. I mean, this will be if you're driving a forklift in and out of an area and you need that clearance at the top. This is the go-to. That's very robust, strong, slides nice and smooth. There's no no play in the door. It's very, very, very solid. So that's a good option when you need that clearance. And then we've got telescoping sliding doors with these basically drawer slides that they slide on. These ones are good for up to about a 1,500 millimeter or 5-foot opening. And again, you could do the double and make it a 10-foot with the two doors sliding into each other. Yeah, so these ones are good for that. Nice, they slide really nice too. This one here, I don't usually quote too many of these, but it is an option. It's a hybrid door that slides over and then hinges out of the way. So that's definitely an option as well. And then just want to make people aware that for special applications, if you need the controls built into the post of the door, we do have options for that, where the post will come pre-drilled with the holes for the buttons. And we even have done some jobs where we've assembled the door interlocks and put the buttons into the post in our warehouse. So that's something that we can look at doing. Okay, and then I wanted to touch on brackets for the interlocks. Obviously, Schmersal sells all of the safety switches, and I do stock a large amount of brackets for our Schmersal switches. Those brackets will come with all the mounting hardware you need to mount the interlock to the bracket, and then obviously the bracket to the post and the mesh panel. Okay. So also want to mention, if the customer is not using Schmersal interlocks, but they're using a competitor's, that doesn't mean that we can't supply the brackets for those interlocks. We can get them shipped over air freight out of Italy. Typically takes about 4 weeks to get them shipped in, but I do that quite often. I'm supplying the brackets for our competitor switches. Italy can basically make any bracket for any interlock out there. Okay, so keep that in mind too. But try and use the Schmersal, please. Okay, so getting into some accessories. Just want to make people aware of our cutting kits and how easy it is to modify a mesh panel. We can do this in our warehouse. We do cut panels down for jobs. Typically, there's going to be a conveyor coming in and out of a manufacturing cell, where you're going to need a half panel, maybe above or below a conveyor. So I do sell a lot of these cut kits with each job. And again, if the customer may not know exactly the height that they may need, this cut kit that we send out, which is what you see on the right there, it's just basically that tube and a C-shaped piece of steel there and some self-tapping screws. The customer can easily cut a panel down in like 15 minutes, or whoever's installing on site. Once they know the specific dimension they need, they can do that themselves. So this cut kit's good for cutting down the width of the mesh panel as well as the height. Okay. So as you see here, this is typically what we'll have on most enclosures, just showing you cutting down the height of the panel there. Now, when we do these half modified panels, they do have to be attached with the fast clip, because the posts obviously don't have the tapped holes all where you would need to bolt that mesh panel in. So if I know there's going to be cut panels on the job, I will quote in a few of those, the fast clip pairs there to mount those in there. So this is just showing you one of the custom panels that we've done. Okay. Okay, some more accessories. I do have a few of these hatch doors in stock. You basically just cut away a hole in the mesh, and then this is a steel welded frame that just bolts right onto the mesh. So I sell a few of these every year, and then you can actually attach Satech or not, Schmersal interlocks or any interlock onto these little hatch doors if you need to. So they come in handy. Kick plates, been selling a few of these lately. We have a kick plate for every panel width that there is, just a thin sheet metal piece that lags into the ground and self-tap screw into the mesh panel. Okay, we also have a line of fencing that we call FastGuard. It's, as you can see in the picture there, it's a postless line of fencing here. Again, here's a quick video showing kind of how this goes together. That jack screw for adjusting, for leveling. Now, if there's a door, you have to use either the 40 or the 60 post to frame the door in. There's no way around that. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so as you can see in the video, it's basically just a foot, right, that the mesh panels slide down on top of, and then you bolt it together and it pinches the tubes together, and then the bolt at the top as well, right? So goes together super fast. That's where you'll find the cost savings. It's maybe just a little bit less expensive than the ImpactGuard. But again, where the cost savings is just how fast it goes together with the assembly time. Okay, there's 3 foot types, right? There's the double here, which is for like this type, if you got 2 panels coming in together. There's a single, and then there's also one that's just got one side's a round tube, and you can mount a panel on angles as well. So there's 3 different styles for that. This is just a picture showing you guys what it would look like in the field. Nice and easy to see through, right? No posts. And the other nice thing is you can easily cut all around the machine. You know, you don't have the post to cut down. So it's good for applications where you might have some machinery in the way that you need to cut around and guard around. Let's kind of go over what I kind of just said. It's not as strong of a connection as the ImpactGuard series. It's only 500 joules, but still, it's a good option. Okay, the other thing I wanted to go over too that I'm not sure if everyone's aware of is that we do a stainless steel line of fencing called BlueGuard for hygienic applications. Okay, so it complies with the hygienic standards, so pharmaceutical, food industry. if anyone has any applications. I do not stock this in North America. It would have to come from Italy, but I do quote quite a few of these applications on a regular basis. Again, we could piggyback the shipment onto one of my stock orders or a direct shipment. Okay. Okay, so as you can see here, it's bolted in with these clips. There's a bolt on the outside edge here, and then it just bolts onto the post there with a nut on the back side. It's got the standoff base, the foot there, right? So now we're a little limited with the mesh panel sizes here with the BlueGuard. There's only 4 panel widths here, the 1988 down to the 484. Only one post type, the 6060 there. We only do the 2240 millimeter height with this. Okay. Now, being limited with those widths, whoever's installing, because it's just a frameless mesh, if they have the proper cutting tool, they can just cut away and customize the width of the mesh panel pretty easily. Okay. That's just kind of showing you how all the surfaces don't hold water. It's really nice high-end system. Just a visual of what it would look like here. Okay, now the other thing we're limited with this BlueGuard though too is there's only 2 different styles of doors. There's the single swing man door here, and only in 2 sizes: the 1,000 millimeter wide door and an 800 millimeter wide opening. Okay, comes with a handle, magnet latch. We can add safety interlocks to the BlueGuard. We do stainless steel bracketry for interlocks. That's no problem. Okay. But a magnet lock comes standard with the door unless specified otherwise. And then there is a sliding door, only in the 1,500 millimeter wide opening. It's the only sliding door option that we got. There you go. And then a few accessories. So there's some braces there. We can mount mesh panels on an angle with the BlueGuard, and then again the safety interlock brackets that I just was talking about earlier. I think Dennis, were you going to jump in here on this side of things?
Yes, for sure. So we just put together some photos of jobs and customers that we've worked with over the last few years. You can see obviously a lot of going on that left there, but again, 40 by 40, easily modified if we need to modify it. On the right, it was just a conveyor system going into an X-ray machine. We did the guarding for that. Josh, next.
Hey Dennis, maybe I could mention too, there's light curtain. There is light curtain posts that we can bring in from Italy to mount light curtains onto. But typically, usually customers are okay if I just supply a 60 by 60 post, and they just mount directly onto the post of the 60/60 post. So light curtains can be easily mounted. I see in that one picture on the left there's some light curtains mounted on there, but
yeah,
we can definitely do that. Right.
Okay, perfect. And Schmersal also has a light curtain housing too if we need
right.
as well. Yeah. Just showing again a CNC machine with some guarding around it, conveyor systems on the right there, like Josh said, easily modified. One question I did put in there, Josh, how easy is this stuff to cut?
Oh yeah, I mean, we just use an angle grinder. I mean, you can even use the hand snips to snip away the mesh. And I should even mention too, like a lot of times you'll need to have an opening in the mesh. So if you just snip away the mesh, we have vinyl edging that we can provide to put around a cut opening so that it removes the sharp edges there. But I mean, yeah, the mesh panels, just cut them down with an angle grinder. and you can modify a panel in like 15 minutes, right? And then just with the self-tapping screws, you're attaching that that new edge of the cut kit, and it's super easy. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing when Josh was showing those couple of pictures, it's a finished product when we use the cut kit. You don't have to send it out for painting or anything. It just looks really complete, the cut kit that we have at Satech.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the photo on the right, obviously, if you got a conveyor that's coming out, we get very easily to cut, like Josh said, as well as obviously the installation of the product. You can see the fast clips like Josh mentioned and everything. So.
Yeah.
Next. Shrink wrappers, obviously, one of the biggest things the ministry are looking at is shrink wrappers. Most of them, if you've been in a manufacturing facility, are wide open. These are two projects, or this is a project that we completed. You can see some light curtains, like Josh mentioned, mounted to the 60 by 60 post. And obviously, we can do 2, 3 sides, whatever they need. We can do a gantry overhead lifting door, whatever you need to obviously make it safe.
Yeah.
On the right, Josh had mentioned in one of his slides an accessory or something that we can do. We can do the obviously the push buttons right in the 60 by 60 panel. You can get a plate with 4 or 5 knockouts to push the push buttons. Obviously the e-stop as well, and then we're showing some mounting kits for the AZM 201 from Schmersal as well.
Yep.
You can see on that picture also at the, sorry, go back, Josh. You can see on the left hand or the back of that door, there's a connector there that we can mount as well, so we can pre-wire them. We've done that for customers as well. We just need the specifications, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. That's a Harding connector, but we can use anyone's connector as well on that.
Yeah.
Logistics. Everyone's in territories where they're putting Amazon buildings up every other day, it seems like. You drive past these logistics warehousing. Obviously, if there's shelving or pick and place or robots, gantries, anything that you want to protect people from, we've done several of these jobs as well, long stretches, long spans. On the right, obviously more shrink wrapping. These are overhead shrink wrapping that we do as well. So you can see some doors, some gates, some mounting brackets, and some cutouts as well on that.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be doing Schmersal any justice if I mentioned or didn't mention that obviously Schmersal's man machine safeguarding anywhere on your floor, obviously with the Satech, as you can see on that shop floor. But we also do obviously interlocks, solenoids, light curtain, safety mats, foot switches, all the control that go with it. And then on the right, something that we've been promoting here at Schmersal for the last 5 to 7 years is safety services. So we get involved with safety training, we get involved with risk assessment, C networking, integration, and that sort of thing. So please keep us in mind for that as well. This is just showing all the devices. One thing that Schmersal's done over the last few years and where we see it going in the future is connectivity and enunciation, getting what the devices or what your doors or gates are doing, obviously to an HMI to tell you where the fault is and how easy it is for troubleshooting. So I just wanted to show this as well. Obviously, again, the full complete solution we're looking at Schmersal, not just pieces and parts anymore. Last slide, Q&A. I don't know if there's any questions, David, in the chat box, but again, we said we would answer any questions, but if you have anything that you have or questions, please reach, put it in the box or reach out to Josh or myself in the future for sure.
Yeah.
I think
No
there is a
question.
hand up. Let me just see what it is here, and we'll try to answer any questions. Bill Keefe, if you want to take yourself off of mute. David, how can we take him off and mute?
I think that worked.
There
Yes.
we go.
You're live.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah, I thought I'd wait till the end. I had just a couple of questions, kind of a little bit of custom fencing for a steel plant customer. And there's a lot of overhead crane work in the steel plants. And
Absolutely.
they're bringing these rolls and these slabs and whatnot in over the top of the fencing. And I'm just wondering if it's possible the top level of the fencing, say the top section, if we could have, say, some plastic plugs instead of the metal bolts up there, so that when they do hit the fencing with the crane, it just breaks the plastic rubber pin, if you will, and they just have a bag of pins in their desk, and they can just, pick it back up, clean out the plastic, and put a new piece of plastic in, and then they're back in business versus destroying a section of fence. They've been
Yeah.
doing this.
So you mean like attaching the mesh panel with like a plastic connector? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like just instead of a metal
Yeah.
bolt, make the same item but make it in plastic, which would shear. Okay, just shear, and then the fence, the panel would be safe, still good.
Yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
also keeps them from busting up their concrete, because the poles are attached,
yeah.
in a
Yeah.
significant
Yeah.
way, and they've busted up concrete, they've destroyed fence, and they're looking for a solution. This is something I kind of dreamt up. They like the idea of it, and I'm just wondering if you can do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Satech wouldn't have anything for that, just as they wouldn't make anything that wouldn't meet the safety standards, right? So, yeah, they wouldn't have anything. We don't have anything like that. That would have to be something custom. That would have to be made up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they wanted to do it, obviously we can get you the dimension drawing of the post, the mesh panel where the hole patterns are, and then they'd have to, figure out some sort of pin. But yeah, I mean, like I said, if that wouldn't meet any OSHA safety
Well, we
standards.
probably just go get somebody to make some plastic pins, and and not put in the bolts, type of thing. I guess
Yeah,
that's going to be the answer.
Like Josh mentions, our product meets safety standards across the world. Obviously, when we talk about shearing and we talk about the jewels, Josh went through that a little bit. But our impact testing that Satech does has to meet the impact testing, which is shearing, right? Unfortunately, if you're putting plastic bolts into this guarding, it would have no impact whatsoever. So that would be an issue, obviously, for safety standards.
to be honest with you though, if they use the fast clips to mount it, those square clips, it would pop the mesh panel off a lot easier than it would if it was bolted. So I don't know if it would, destroy the posts and rip it out of the floor, but I don't know. It
Yeah.
sounds like no matter what you had, if it hit the mesh, it would probably damage it pretty
Yeah.
good.
To be honest with you, we've done a lot of steel manufacturing plants here in the U.S. And yeah, you want robustness when we talk about, especially cranes and overhead gantries and that sort of thing. So that could be an issue, but I understand what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. The other question I had is, I noticed a lot of the doors, there's that overlay aluminum channel at the top of the door. Do you have to have that? Because here, once again, when they open the door, they want to be able to pass large pieces through the opening, and they don't want a bar, you
Oh,
know,
for sure. Yeah.
in the way.
Yeah. There's definitely, we have guideless doors there.
Hmm.
Probably go back to
Guideless. Okay, that's what they're called, guideless. Okay.
guideless. Yeah. If I go back
Hmm.
here, I'll show you. I use these quite often in applications like that. Crap. Well, if you shoot me an email, I can send you the different door options for
Yeah, okay. Well, that leads
that
right
style
into
of
my
door.
next question. Phone number and email for Dennis and Joshua would be great.
Absolutely. Dave, that's
I think it's on the last slide, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay, great.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it will be in the follow-up materials. I'll be sending out an email probably tomorrow morning with the recording, and I'll include some contact information.
yeah.
Ah, here we go. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay. While that was going on, we do have a couple people that put in some questions. So if you want to field these, can you send out a PDF of what is stocked in Indianapolis?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. I think some of the materials I'll be adding to tomorrow's email will include the brochure of the ImpactGuard and FastGuard.
Yeah.
So Kirsten wants to know, do we have some design guidelines? How many panels can be mounted in a line without a post?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a industry standard, but I mean, I typically I would join two of our largest panels together, the 1500 millimeter wide, so it'd be roughly a 10-foot span without a post in the middle. I don't know if I would want to go too much larger than that, but yeah, like a 10-foot span. I've definitely done that in the past.
And of course, without the posts, you could also do the FastGuard footers.
Yeah, for sure. But if they need if they can't have that foot or anything at the bottom, if that's why they're doing it. Yeah, like a 10-foot span with two 1500s together is kind of the max that I would like to go to, but we could go even larger than that, I'm sure. But yeah, but 10 foot is kind of my max that I typically like to go to. Hopefully that helps.
How is this cost competitive compared to basic 80-20 type extruded frame solutions?
Oh, at least 50% less expensive, and way faster to assemble. With the aluminum extrusion products has so many different little nuts, insertion nuts, and you've got to cut it all up, bore the holes for the connectors, all that. So it's way less expensive and way easier to assemble than the aluminum extrusion product, for sure.
Okay. Next question, how high can you mount the panels?
How high? Well, our standard fencing is 2240 millimeters tall. We do have a 3 meter and out of Italy that we can bring in, or a 2640 millimeter tall. I think it's 104 inches, and then the 3 meters, 10 foot. But I don't sell too many applications with those that height. It's tough to ship over and expensive to ship that over here. Obviously, it's so large, takes up a lot of space. But yeah, I hope that I'm not sure if that answers that exactly, but
Okay. Can you please provide a link to the software that was previously mentioned? I believe it was the
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
design. Yep.
we'll definitely do that.
You can do that, David, with your follow-up email tomorrow, right?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. That is pretty much all the questions that we have. There's a couple more. Nikki Ann Zupan, one of our application engineers, just chimed in with standards call out 300 millimeters up from the floor that a fence can be mounted.
Ah, okay, well, there you go. Yeah, our gap at the floor is 140 millimeters, so that's our standard, but yeah.
Yeah, with that, just kind of reminds us that we do have a full customer service team. We have inside sales, technical engineers that can help with not only helping you, Josh, with designing the guards, but with all the secondary Schmersal products that we could be adding on to that. So that's it for today. We will be sending out the recording of this session tomorrow morning, along with some secondary information if you want. You still have an opportunity to download some of the handouts that we posted already. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you to Josh.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you.
And thank you to Dennis.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks, David.
Thanks, Dave.